Hello, so this video is going to be about some of the awful governmental and authority advice around the coronavirus, and often a lot of it is very contradictory. So a big thing of this, I think, is you have to look at the actions people are taking rather than what they're advising. Now, in an ideal world, obviously, if you have an authoritative body, they'd be giving you the absolute best information that would be really useful and practical, and they'd be completely open and honest. Unfortunately, we've seen with a lot of this coronavirus stuff that obviously, Big Daddy government and lots of these other, authorizations and all that, authorities aren't actually giving out very good advice, and, they'll say for the public to do one thing and then themselves are doing another thing. So obviously, a lot's already known about the World Health Organization potentially getting a lot of money kickbacks from China. I'll say allegedly here because obviously I don't want anybody to sue me or whatever. This is just what I've read on lots of places, and, verify everything for yourself, I'm going to say in this video, because maybe some of it is fake news, how would I know? But, I've just looked up a lot of this stuff, and so, that's why a lot of this started off quite slowly, because the World Health Organization was basically saying this double think of, it's a really serious situation, poor China, but China's doing so well controlling it, but it's no threat to anybody else. So that sort of raises some alarm bells, doesn't it? Because you think, how can China at one stage be struggling to contain something that's really dangerous and having to take all these authoritarian steps, yet at the same time it's nothing to worry about because it's not as serious as the flu. So, there was all that sort of stuff. And now recently the World Health Organization's gone, whoops, oh, it actually turns out it does have like a 3 to 4% kill ratio, rather than like the less than 1% we were previously letting on. Oh, and it is worse than the flu, even though, for ages all the doctors were going, oh, you should be more concerned about the flu. Despite the fact this thing has a higher R0 than the flu, as in, it's a lot more infectious. And, for every 100 people that gets it, it seems on average now 3 to 4 people out of those 100 die at the moment, rather than it being like the flu, where it's something like 1 in 1,000 people dies from it, and, that sort of thing. So there's that. And then of course we've got the classic, you don't need a mask, masks do nothing to protect you, but the doctors need the masks, so we're seeing this in a couple of different places. The US CDC, I think it was, or the Surgeon General said basically, stop buying masks, people, they're of no help, but we need the masks, you're using up our supply. So, and Germans did a similar thing. The Germans basically said, we need all the supply of masks, and we don't want to export them because we need them for ourselves. Okay. And I think the French did something similar as well, where they said basically the French government has the right to requisition masks or something. Now, what they should have been honest and said, but obviously they weren't honest about it, was that basically, yes, there's different types of masks. Different types of masks have different levels of protection. If you watch this channel a lot, you'll know about that because, I find masks very interesting. But it was more, the fact that what they could have said if they wanted to be all really honest is the US Surgeon General could have said, look, please people, a doctor wearing a mask, they're going to be seeing more patients, they're at more risk of infection, it's really important that doctors don't get infected, they have a lot more training than you do, so please leave them short supply of masks to the doctors, so the people who need them in the high risk, applications get the masks, not your average person. If somebody in authority told me that, I'd say, oh, fair enough, that makes sense, but when they basically come up with this double think of, a mask doesn't protect you, but if you're a doctor it magically does, makes you think. So, we've been seeing lots and lots of contradictory advice like this. A bit like the Iranian health minister saying corona's under control in this country, or corona isn't a thing in this country, or I'm having a fever, I'm sweating. So you get all this sort of stuff, and I think in general a lot of people would be far happier if, the people in authoritative positions just simply said, look, we don't know this information, we're going to have to guess, or, look, the real reason we're saying this is this, be honest with people, because I think generally if you're honest, people will be a lot happier to, if you have some hard truths, they'd be rather hear it rather than you telling them fairy tales and then obviously realising something is not right here. So of course we're seeing lots of evidence as well from different countries that it seems the death rate is a lot higher than previously said, and at least the World Health Organization, as much as they've lost a lot of credibility, are at least saying now, oh, it might be 3 to 4%, not, oh, it's less than 1%. Also, the UK's getting in a bit of shit because they've been saying, our government, that, one thing they were saying is that basically, oh, just wash your hands a lot, you'll be absolutely fine as long as you wash your hands. And basically that's that. And then some people are saying actually if you wash your hands too much that can destroy your skin, damage your skin, leading you more prone to infections, so don't know about that one. And then there's also the thing where the British government, this is the main thing that's annoyed me, previously they were doing daily updates or several updates a day, saying, you know, like 2 people have got coronavirus in this place in the UK, you know, another how many here. Now they're saying that it's only going to be every Friday they release this information. Now I don't know if they mean just every Friday they will say, you know, these are the locations where everybody's got it, or they just mean like they'll just say every Friday, oh look, there's 1,000 new cases, rather than saying, you know, there was 20 cases today, 40 the next day. But a lot of people said, you know, that's quite worrying, because if you're somewhere in the UK and there's loads of cases in your area, you're probably going to want to know sooner than later to decide when you don't want to use public transport anymore or something like that. But when they're literally saying, oh no, you'll just get a weekly update, you know, where there's going to be a lot of figures and you're not going to really see, you know, where the infected areas are, that's a bit more worrying. So I'm hoping they might go back on this decision, but I doubt it. I was listening to LBC earlier today, or when you see this video it'll probably be yesterday, and they were getting grilled a bit for that. You know, if they're trying to advertise themselves as being open and honest, why are they hiding figures? So I think a lot of governments would be, you know, taken a lot more credibly, or, you know, they'd get a lot more credibility, or a lot of things like the World Health Organization, if they literally said, look, we don't want to panic people too early on, and we want to, you know, make sure that a lot of money isn't lost from the stock markets. Of course, you've seen a lot of the media organisations weren't reporting on coronavirus very much until the market started tanking, and then it was suddenly all over the news, because I guess the cat was out of the bag at that point. So, there you go. Yes, there's been lots of contradictory government advice, and advice from sort of World Health Organisation and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people aren't stupid. You know, if you just said to them, look, in all honesty, we don't know, or, you know, this isn't pleasant news, but this is what it is, people would take that on better than just somebody lying to you and saying, you know, everything's fine when it's not. So, there you go.